Hi everyone, welcome back to Cashel Library Storytime. Are you ready for some more spooky tales? Okay, let's begin. Our first one today is called 4 Silly Skeletons. This book is written by Mark Sperring, illustrated by Sue Hendra and published by Bloomsbury. Meet 4 silly skeletons: Fred, Sid, Belle and Bill. They live in this house at the top of this steep hill. And here at the bottom, where the ground is good and flat, lives their dear, sweet Auntie June and her skelly-bones cat. Now every single day there always seems to be a silly little mishap, sometimes 2 or 3. But luckily, dear Auntie June is never far away to pick up all the pieces and make everything okay. But one dark and starry night, when the moon was big and round, Skelly Fred heard music, such a sweet toe-tapping sound. Belle, she started twirling. Bill's knees began to knock. Then cuckoo went the cuckoo in the Skelly cuckoo clock. It's midnight, shouted Skelly Sid. But what do we all care? How can we think of sleeping when there's music in the air? So 4 silly skeletons shimmied down the hill with a swish and a sway and a leap and a twirl. Rumba, samba, well, look at them all go. Bone-rocking, high-kicking to and funny fro. Jive-bopping, leapfrogging, oh, a body pop! Until a sweet, worried voice cried, "Stop, stop, stop!" It was dear, sweet Auntie June with a bottomless bag, and she said to those skeletons, "I'm not one to nag. But take these lamps and torches and this shining candlestick, for it's dark out on this steep, steep hill. You know I worry sick." But 4 silly skeletons said they didn't need more light. "Just look," they said to Auntie June, "the moon's still big and bright." So off they danced, with a skip and a hop. And not one of them saw the great big drop. Help! Four silly skeletons, all in a heap, a pile of bones stacked up steep, moaning and groaning beneath the cloudy moon, weeping and wailing, "We want our Auntie June!" And just then came a bright, beaming light that shone like gold in the dark, dark night. And dear Auntie June took out some string and sticky glue and then put them back together, almost as good as new. Now Belle has 2 left feet, Fred has 2 right, Bill is a muddle, and Sid says, "Serves us right." Next time we go dancing beneath the full moon, we really must listen to clever Auntie June. The end. Our next spooktastic book today is called Winnie's Midnight Dragon, written by Valerie Thomas, illustrated by Korey and published by Oxford University Press. "Time for bed," said Winnie the witch as the clock struck 12. Witches always go to bed at midnight. Winnie turned off the lights and went upstairs. She brushed her teeth, washed her face, and put on her nightie and climbed into bed. In 2 minutes she was snoring. Wilbur, her big black cat, was already asleep. He was curled up in his basket, dreaming. 2 minutes later, Wilbur woke up. He could hear a funny noise in the garden. He crept to the cat flap and peered out. There was something on the doormat, something with green eyes. "Meow!" cried Wilbur, and he jumped back. A long nose poked through the cat flap. Then there was a puff of smoke. The cat flap wobbled and shook. A spiky body, then a long tail followed the nose. There was a baby dragon in Winnie's house. "Meow!" cried Wilbur. He turned 3 backward somersaults and ran into the hall. The baby dragon thought this was fun. He ran after Wilbur. Swish, swish went his tail. Winnie's grandfather clock wobbled and shook. Ding dong boing! "Meow!" cried Wilbur, and he raced upstairs. The baby dragon ran after him. Swish, swish went his tail. Winnie's suit of armour wobbled and shook and rolled down the stairs. Crash! Bang! Clang! "Meow!" cried Wilbur outside Winnie's door. Winnie woke up and jumped out of bed. "Whatever is that?" she said. Then she saw a puff of smoke coming from behind her broomstick. "Oh no!" said Winnie. "My broomstick is on fire!" Winnie grabbed her broomstick. "Goodness gracious me!" said Winnie. "It's a baby dragon! He could burn down my house. We'll have to find his mother, Wilbur." "Where is your mother, little dragon?" Winnie asked. "Boo-hoo-hoo!" cried the baby dragon. A cloud of smoke came out of his nose. Puff, puff. Then Winnie had an idea. She waved her magic wand 3 times and shouted, "Abracadabra!" Puff went the dragon, and out of his nose came a cloud of butterflies. Puff, puff, puff went the baby dragon, who was very surprised. There were butterflies everywhere. Wilbur loved chasing butterflies. The baby dragon loved chasing anything. Smash went Winnie's best bowl. Splash went the vase of flowers. Crash went the table. "This wasn't such a good idea," said Winnie. She waved her magic wand again and shouted, "Abracadabra!" Out of the dragon's nose came nothing. "Good," said Winnie. "Now let's get some sleep." But the baby dragon didn't want to sleep. He wanted to play. "Bother," said Winnie. "We'd better find your mother right now." She got a torch and went out onto the roof. "Yoo-hoo!" she called. It was quiet and dark on the roof. "Yoo-hoo!" Winnie called again and waved her torch. Suddenly there was a flash of fire and the sound of great wings. The baby dragon jumped up and down. "Mama, Mama, Mama!" he called. "Yoo-hoo!" called Winnie. But the baby dragon's mother didn't see them. Then Winnie had a wonderful idea. She grabbed her wand, waved it 6 times, shouted, "Abracadabra!" And there, above her house, was an enormous moon. The mother dragon came flying back. She swooped down and scooped up her baby. Puff went the baby dragon, and smoke came out of his nose again. The 2 dragons flew high into the sky and disappeared. Winnie waved her wand, shouted, "Abracadabra!" and the enormous moon went out.
Now let's go back to bed, Wilbur, she said.
Winnie climbed into bed and shut her eyes. In half a minute she was snoring. Wilbur was already asleep in his basket. Just then the sun rose. The night was over. But Winnie the Witch and Wilbur were fast asleep. Happy Halloween, everyone. Bye.